Well, let's go back to Aviwe Mtila. He's at Eskom's Megawatt Park in Sandton for us this morning, just looking at the impact on Eskom. Aviwe, good morning. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, Yuveka. Yes, I'm at Megawatt Park now, of course, just reflecting on the budget yesterday and Eskom and what was dealt with in terms of Eskom. Of course, it was the dominating theme of yesterday's budget, with South Africans alike wanting to know that will government take on some of Eskom's debt. We understand that they are in debt of around 420 billion rand, and last year they put in a request for government to take on about 100 billion rand of that debt. We found out yesterday in Minister Tito Mboweni's maiden speech that the embattled power utility will receive some sort of relief. They will in fact receive 23 billion rands per annum for the next 3 years, which adds up to 69 billion rands. The finance minister did emphasize, it was in the pains in fact in emphasizing that this is not a bailout, but in fact will assist with restructuring the company. We understand from the State of the Nation address that President Cyril Ramaphosa said the embattled power utility will be split into 3. That was emphasized yesterday with conditions to this specific relief that Eskom will be receiving. They said that they want the organization to appoint an independent chief reorganization officer to implement the restructuring. But for more on the reaction from what Eskom thinks is the CEO of the utility, Phakamani Hadebe, let's take a listen to that.
It's a step in the right direction. We are appreciative of what we got. Over the next 3 years, Eskom will have a debt servicing cost roughly of about 32 billion a year. That means that what we are going to get a year covers almost 70% of the debt cost. In so doing, it then allows us to have sufficient earnings to deal with operational issues, which amongst others include maintenance. So it is a step in the right direction.
That was the CEO of the embattled power utility, Phakamani Hadebe, the man at the helm for over a year now. But we're still seeing, for example, spate of load shedding, a lot of disgruntlement towards the embattled power utility. We heard reaction yesterday from many of the opposition parties who aren't quite settled by this specific bailout, saying that they've received numerous bailouts, the last being in 2017 of about 80 billion rand to the embattled power utility. But just to get some of the reactions, Steve Swart from SADP had this to say. Let's take a listen.
Well, as you know, I was involved in the Eskom inquiry, and it is absolutely disgraceful that 69 billion rand is given to Eskom. Whilst it is understandable under the new board, the previous state capture and corruption, which we exposed, has not yet been dealt with. We need to recover that money that was stolen, and then the taxpayer would not have to foot the bill to keep the lights on.
Well, of course, state-owned entities as a whole was also another sore point for this budget, with even Finance Minister Tito Mboweni asking the crucial question whether does government need to own these state-owned entities, saying that what other they need to just reflect on and actually think out, even saying that pouring money into Eskom now, if they were to give them a bailout, would be like pouring money into a sieve. So there were a lot of talking points and a lot of disgruntlement just in general around state-owned entities. But for now, it's back to you in studio, Yuveka.
All right, thanks very much for that, Aviwe Mtila. He's at Megawatt Park for us in Sandton, just the day after this bit of a handout to Eskom there and what it actually means, or just a drop in the ocean, I suppose, for the power utility. But will they use it wisely?